Okay, guys, not that you need this, but just to make sure that anybody who's not aware of this does have access. I know many of you are choosing to handwrite your work and scan it. Probably my preference if I was your age also. But you do have the means of writing pretty cleanly on Word. So just to show you very quickly, I have a Word document open, and I would perhaps like to write an equation so that I can just do it directly on a document. All you do is hit Insert, or the equation command, and this will pop up. Let's say, for example, that I was to write the half angle equation for sine. I just begin typing the sine of, now I would like to put in a fraction, which would be theta over 2. So I hit the fraction button, give it a second or two, but all your choices will begin to show up. There goes a bunch of them. It's just the computer loading. I click on this one time, and it pops back in very nicely there. So I'm going to need to put a theta symbol. So if I go to all my symbols, I am just looking for theta. It would be really nice if it was in the top 2 rows because that's what it tends to show, but it's not. So I'm going to scroll down till I find the theta button, and there it is. Hit theta, and it shows up. And I can click on the other box, and I can put 2. To get out of this fraction, I just hit the arrow once to the right, and it takes me out. So at this point in time, I would like to hit equal to. Now, we do know the half angle identity for sine could be positive or negative. I believe that is in the top row of symbols, and there it is not. And there it is. It's the very first one. So hit there, and there we go. So now I need a radical sign. So I go over to the radical area, click on. You're going to once again wait for some particular reason. It's taking a very long time to load, but let us just be patient. And there it is, my first command. I have the ability to take the square root of any value I want. So that's going to show up. I then am going to have a fraction side. So I'm going to click on that box, go back to the fraction command, and click on this one. Notice it's already shown up fast because I loaded it already once. So over here, I have 1 minus the cosine of theta. By now, I've memorized that theta is about 2 clicks down here. That shows up. Scroll down to and hit a 2, and there we go. Now I just click out, and I have the sine of theta over 2 is equal to plus or minus the square root of 1 minus cosine of theta all over 2. So if you want to do any of your work on a Word document because you find it easy to work through, feel free to do that. I know that a lot of times we're going to be asking you guys to work the Google Classroom. I just wanted you to see that you can also do it on a Google Doc. So if I can find that Google Doc at this point in time, I know it is somewhere. Here it is, an untitled Google Doc. So I am going to do the same exact thing. So say this is a Google document that I've given you as an assignment, and you just would like to write directly on it and submit it back to me. If I go to Insert, and notice they also have an equation option. It's just formatted a bit differently. And there's one thing I've learned through technology, other than, of course, is to ask any of you and any of my young children for assistance, is that there's always a way to figure it out. And of course, the internet will help you out. So let's plug in the same exact thing. So I'm going to hit the sign. I'm looking for a Greek symbol. So as I scroll down here, I notice this gives me Greek letters. So there's theta symbol. Hit it once and it shows up. But of course, what I want is a fraction. So notice that at this point in time, I could always do this formatting, but let's admit it, that looks cruddy. And let's go back and let's see, Greek letters, miscellaneous operations, that might be useful later, relations, and math operations, probably my best bet right here. And there we go, there's the fraction command. So the way this shows up, there's no box to make it clear at all. That's where I believe the Microsoft document does a better job. But nonetheless, there is a little fraction bar right here. So I assume I'm at the top. So let's go back, find that Greek letter theta, and there it goes. If you just hit the arrow once to the right, it will then take you to the denominator. Well, I can then type in the 2. If I hit the arrow to the right once again, that takes me out of the fraction. But what you do not see, of course, is where the heck that cursor is. Just be patient. You're still in there. So let's hit equal. And notice that I keep going. So now I need a plus minus symbol. I'm thinking it's somewhere located in miscellaneous operations. And there it is. Now I would like is a radical symbol. So that probably is, it even shows up right here. I'm looking at this one right there. Now notice that the top of the Radican does not cleanly fit, ladies and gentlemen. That's just part of the technology default. Who knows? I'm sure in a year or two they'll clean it up quite nicely. I do need a fraction in here, so I think I'm going to go back to here, find the fraction command. Once again, I am in the numerator, so I'm going to hit a 1 minus cosine of theta, and theta symbols are over here. And once again, one arrow to the right takes me down to the denominator, put it over 2, and one arrow to the right takes me out of everything, but I do not see that, once again, flashing cursor. So if you click out, let's see, we go here. There we go. And that is how I can also write a clean mathematical notation on a Google document. So we have 3 options. Google Documents, feel free to use it. Word documents, feel free to use it. And lastly, you of course can handwrite things and scan it to me. If you needed that, there you go. Have a great day.